Now let's go into looping over lists. So if I take this right here and I go to Sublime, we're going to assign A to be a list that contains integers 2, 3, 5, 7, and we're just going to loop through these elements inside A. So for item inside this list A, we're going to print out what this item is, and after we print out the item, we're going to start a new line and print out the next one until we get all the way to the end of the list, 7, and then have a new line. So let's see what that looks like. Right, so we have 2, 3, 5, 7 that appear, and you enter a new line. No surprises there. Let's go through actually looping a list through indices. By this, you can do the same list, and you go through the range of the length of A. So in this case, this is a length of 4, so you're going to go through from 0, 1, 2, and then 3, and access the index at A of 0, which is 2, A of 1, which is 3, so on and so forth, and you're going to print out what that is. So this is a different way of just showing you how to loop through a list using the position of the element. So then you have A of 0 is 2, A of 1 is 3, A of 2 is 5, A of 3 is 7. So then we just have these nice print statements right here with different lines each time you enter a new index inside the range of the length of A. We can also loop through a list backwards. Here we can just call a function. Hold on a second. Right, you can also loop through backwards. Yep, so to the back of the list, reverse order. The same kind of statement setup is here, where we're going to loop through the indices from 0 to the range of the length of A, so 0, 1, 2, 3. However, here we're going to have a different way of calling the index that we're looking at in A. By this I mean that you're going to look at length of A, which is 4, minus 1, minus the index. So instead of, we're going to loop from 0 to 3, as shown as before, but then we're going to actually just look at the end of the list. So we're going to have to look at 4 minus 1 minus the 0th index, which is 3. And the reason we need this 1 is that A is starting at index 0, and if we just say length of A minus index, we're going to start at A of 4, which doesn't exist. So we're going to have to do that offset by 1 right here. And therefore, when you say A of 3, you're going to have A of 3, and then you're going to go, instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, it's just going to do it in reverse order, which you see right here. You can do the exact same statement or print statements by just using the actual built-in function in Python, which is reversed of A, which is non-destructive. And this has, for item in A, so now it's going from 7, then 5, and 3, and then 2, and it's going to print out those elements, or those integers, and then finally it's going to print out A, but A is not going to be destructively modified, so A is still going to be 2, 3, 5, 7. And that's exactly what we see right here, 7, 5, 3, 2, and then A is still the same, which is exactly what we expect because it's non-destructive. And let's see. Yeah, let's also reverse it in a destructive way, which we can do by calling a simple destructive function. So A.reverse, which takes in no parameters here, actually takes the list A and makes it into 7, 5, 3, 2. So it just completely reverses it. So when you actually loop through it, you don't have to call reverse on it because A is already reversed. So when you print out A, you have 7, 5, 3, 2 instead. So let's see if that changes right around here. And yep, so A is destructively modified because we did that right here with A.reverse. One last thing to note when you loop through lists is to never destructively modify your list that you're given to loop over, because you're just going to crash. And I'll explain here. Because let's say we say A is a list of 2, 3, 5, 3, 7, which has length 5, yes, 5 right here. So you're going to start with 0 and then go all the way to 4. And if this statement right here actually inspects the element that we're looking at, so if 2 is 3 or if 3 is 3, right, we're going to enter this conditional right here and then pop that index out. So if A becomes the list 2, pop it out, 5, 3, 7. So now A is length not 5 but length 4. And then the next time you go through it, it's going to call, so that was index 1, it's going to call index 2. Right, so then index 2 is 2, 5, 3. 3 is also going to be popped out as well. So you can see when you loop through this, even though you specify in the beginning with a static call right here, range of length of A, this is just going to see the list of the iteration from 0 to 4. So then it crashes exactly when it tries to access A of 3, once it pops it out twice. Once it pops out the second 3, it tries to look for, so now the list is of length 3, it's going to look for A of 3, which is non-existent because there's nothing after 7. So you should write maybe a print statement right here to really see what I mean by how this is changing, and you can see exactly where you fail. Which is exactly after you pop out both of the 3s and you try and get after the 7, and you end up not running this line because it crashes, and that there's no such thing as an A of 3.